Ole Miss fans need a hotel for the game weekend? Many OTAs keep all the commissions, but at Fan Plans, you still get your loyalty points, receive direct confirmation from the hotel, and you support Rebel Grove. Visit fanplans.com/Rebel Grove today.
Welcome into another edition of the Troy Brown Show, presented by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. I'm Neil McCready. That is Ole Miss linebacker, Ole Miss leading tackler Troy Brown. The Rebels 5-0 after a dramatic 22-19 win over Kentucky last Saturday. They head to Nashville this weekend. They'll play Vanderbilt at 3 p.m. at Vanderbilt Stadium. They're in basically downtown Nashville, near obviously the Vanderbilt campus. 3 o'clock SEC Network. If you're not making the trip to Nashville, that's how you can see the game. And again, we're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call 662-429-4429. I was trying to think of West End is what I was thinking of when I was saying downtown, Troy. I was having a brain moment there. You been to Nashville much in your life?
I have a friend that actually she just graduated from TSU, so I was down there not too long ago. She graduated this summer, so I was down there for a couple of days.
You a country music person at all? What's your music taste? Nashville, obviously the country music capital of the world, and other stuff too. What's your music? What's your go-to music? Not to get ready to play, but just to chill out.
I love all kinds of music, but I wouldn't say country is my go-to. I mean, if it's a good story or if it's a good beat to it, or I can if I can dance or bop to it, then I'll listen to it. But other than that, that probably won't be here too much.
What do you listen to when you're getting ready to play? What's your go-to music to get you into football mode?
Well, I do listen to a lot of motivational speakers before, but when it's like right before game time, it's just like Gunna, people from my hometowns, a guy called Rio, Louis Ray. It's just a lot of, I don't know, turn you up music. Like it's high energy music. So yeah, get me going.
You were playing exceptionally good football right now. I watched you a lot on Saturday. That was a physical football game. Chris Rodriguez is a load. I'm sure that there's a lot of mutual respect between the two of you after that game. Players hate when you ask, are they surprised? Are you at all? Is there any part of this that surprises you that you're playing as well as you're playing at this level? Or were you pretty damn confident that this is what you could do at an SEC level?
Yeah, always being that confident in what I could do, especially with over my past years, what I've done in those big games like SEC games or Big Ten games. I honestly, I don't want to be that guy, but there are plays out there that I've left out there that are just if I'm detail oriented or I'm just being being taught what I am being taught, but if I applied it on the field, then those are more plays that's out there for me, and I feel like that I've missed a lot. So for it to feel like people on the outside are saying that I'm doing okay, I'm doing good, and I see the plays that I make, and I think that these are plays that you have to make each and every time that if you want to play at any level from college on up. So I don't necessarily feel like it's a big surprise.
What are the plays that you feel like you're leaving on the field? Like, can you give me an example of a play that sticks out in your mind?
This weekend, we had a check made for what they were doing. And if I just used the in-game coaching and just applied it on the field and listened and being more detailed on that part, I would have had a pick instead of my fingertips scraping barely past the ball. So it's just little things like that that I just need to hone in while it's game time.
What was what was that game like? The game, just watching from the press box and then down on the field in the final few minutes, that looked like a really physical game between two really physical teams that were playing with a lot of confidence. We talked about it going in. Both teams had won 15 of their last 18 games. Those were teams that were used to winning. It kind of felt like that from watching. You were on the field playing in it. How would you describe that game?
I honestly felt like it was a very slow game. Not very body taxing, but it was very physical. So that's where the wear and tear came from in that game. They weren't a very fast tempo team. They didn't wear you down with speed. They just tried to do what they did very well, and which in some moments they did, but in the clutch moments we did what we did well. We were taught to, fight all the way to the end, no matter what. When you're on that field, you give your last play. We ended up in a situation where we feel like, we have the game won, but the offense end up, 3-and-out. So there's so what now what? You're back against the wall. You got to go out there and play the next play like it's your last. So you got back out there and got the stop, and that's just things that, you can't really teach somebody to know. It just
Yeah.
has to happen for them to believe it.
Let's go through that a little bit because I think it's a great point. AJ makes the play, strips Levis on that fourth down at around the 20-ish yard line. I can't remember exactly where, but around in there. You guys come off the field, you're celebrating, but it's not over. I remember I was down on the field. I looked across at Kentucky, and their offense immediately huddled up on the sideline, and it was like they knew, hey, they did what you guys do, right? You guys thought, hey, our offense is going to go take care of this. They said, hey, our defense is going to go take care of this. We're going to get the ball back. And sure enough, they were right. They got the 3-and-out, missed a face mask call, but regardless, 3-and-out, they punt. You guys are back on the field. What's that emotional swing like from, hey, we just celebrated this great play that AJ made, and maybe we've got this thing won, to, we got to do this again?
In the moment, it can be a little frustrating, but you just have to trust what the coaches are doing. Like you can't control the game. You can't make the calls. So when the situation plays out how it plays out, with me being back on the field to finish the game, why not? Like I feel like if I want anybody to be on the field to finish a game, why not me? But in that situation, it was kind of frustrating in the moment.
And then Kentucky makes a play on Barian Brown, who can absolutely fly. I mean, that guy, he looks like an Olympic sprinter out there. He cuts up the sideline, and I thought when he turned, I thought he's gone. I didn't think anybody was going to get him. Trey Washington gets him, but all of a sudden, Kentucky's at the 7-yard line. They're right there. What's kind of going through your mind at that point? Because you guys are sprinting down the field, and they're they did go a little tempo there. In fact, they went a little fast. That's why they got the penalty. But even at that point, 12-yard line, they field goal ties it. A touchdown probably wins it.
Mm-hmm.
Got you on the ropes in that moment. What were you kind of thinking?
I don't know. I didn't want to think anything negative. So while I was running back, I was just thinking like what they're gonna do. Like, and I seen them going tempo. I see what they're trying to get on the ball fast. I was thinking what run play could come. If we didn't get a call, what play call we would need to call ourselves, because it's kind of, we practice situations like this. So I don't know, but I would say there were bad thoughts inside of them, like damn, like
Sure.
But I just go to the next play, you know.
Didn't he get the euphoria of making the play? Tavius jumps on the ball, and at that point it's over. Well, after a game like that, how long does it take you to sort of come down? And given the environment, and 64,000, it was electric atmosphere pretty much the whole game. What was just the post game like for you in the locker room after the game? I know you had family here. I mean, what was all of that like? It had to have been pretty rewarding, I'm guessing.
And very, very rewarding. A very surreal experience. This is my first time beating them. I was 0-1 against them before. Now, I tied that series. But it was just, I don't know, it was like a big accomplishment. Like, this is my first time ever myself being a top 10 team. And I was a part of that. So it was a lot of small accomplishments within this big win, that I appreciated well that night.
What was it like for your family? What were their thoughts on a Ole Miss, not just an Ole Miss game day, but a big Ole Miss game day, an SEC game? Kentucky came in ranked 7th in the country. I mean, there was a lot going on there. I mean, there's a little nothing. Again, I never want to say anything that's disrespectful to Central Michigan, but it's probably a different atmosphere than Central Michigan, Ball State, or something. I'm guessing it had a little different buzz to it.
Man, it's just the love that they get once people notice who they are. My son and my daughter, they wear their shirts on with my face on them all the time with my number on the back. So whenever people see them, it's like, oh, and just giving them compliments, saying like your dad did good, like he did good and stuff like that. And it's just, they feel like little rock stars. I feel like it, you know what I mean? So I'm glad that I could, give them some notice and stuff like that. And they're having fun. They're having a ball.
That was one of the things you were not worried about, but you wondered about, like how readily accepted would you be? How readily accepted would your family be? And I think that's been answered, which has to be kind of heartwarming.
Most definitely, man. I love this community, this nation. I'm gonna be a part of it forever, and honestly hope one of my kids come here to play.
So you guys now, Troy, are ranked 9th in the country. You go from being the hunter to you're pretty close to being the hunted. People are going to come after you now. Like Vanderbilt's a double-digit underdog. I'm sure they're looking at this like a great opportunity to, get a huge win for them. How I don't know if difficult's the word. How much emphasis do you have to put on, hey, we beat Kentucky, that's over, it's done. Got to move on, got to get our minds right for Vanderbilt, and knowing that you've got the lower the number is by your name, the more people gun for you because you're a bigger what's the word I'm looking for, like a pelt to put on the wall if they get you right. So that's coming with Vanderbilt on Saturday. What's that been like in the building?
Well, I feel like the energy is not like shifted in that type of way. It's not like, okay, they're gunning for our heads, but we're more excited to be like the next opportunity, the next 1-0 to get us to 6-0, to get us to 7-0. Like we have that, and we have to go in. I mean, we're doing that week in, week out, like restarting the week. Okay, we have to go 1-0. What we're gonna do, what it takes this week to get there, and each and every day you have to knock down that brick, build it back up. And I feel like that's just what the energy is like, and that's what we're gunning for. So that's why we come out at the end of the week on top.
I know that Kari hasn't been out there. How exciting or how, maybe even proud have you been for like Austin, Ashanti to be playing the way that they've played, given all of the question marks about linebacker play going into the season after, it's been documented. Mark Robinson and Chance Campbell left, and they brought you in because they knew they had a shortage at linebacker. They were scouring the portal all summer at linebacker, and yet you guys have kind of answered the bell.
I'm very proud of him. Being that Austin is more mature in a lot of situations that he was when I first saw him. So I just feel like once he learns how to let go of trying to do things down to a T, he'll learn how to flow and just be back there and making plays and running fast the way he runs, because people don't understand and people don't hear me say it a lot, but Austin has everything you can see. He passes the eye test. He has speed. He has strength. This guy, he can do it all. He's very athletic. So the sky is the limit for him, but he has to let himself, be who he is. But Ashani is always the smart guy, the technical one, real detailed in everything he does. So he does everything right. Sometimes he's like Austin. He just has to, let go and play. And I feel like that's what I bring to them, and that's what I like, the older type of image I give to them.
Not to get into detail on your game plan and stuff, but what do you see from Vanderbilt? A couple of quarterbacks that have played. Is it difficult to prepare for a team when you know you're probably going to see both guys?
Not really, because you know the tendencies they have when each one is in. You know why they use two different quarterbacks. So we think one is a predominantly a runner, so a lot of run defenses. Kind of when he's in, when 13's in, he likes to pitch and catch. So work off of that, things like that, maybe. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, let's before we let you go, let's get to our pick segment here. You're leaving picks on the table too. You had a bad week. You went 1-4.
Very biased.
You went 1-4. I went 3-2, so I've expanded my lead to 4 games on you. I'm 16-13. You're 12-17 so far in picking the MAC. So I mean, no pressure or anything, but there's some pressure here. So I got 6 MAC games. We'll start with Eastern Michigan is at Western Michigan. Battle of teams that you know well. Eastern Michigan is a 4-point underdog at Western Michigan. I'm taking Western Michigan, and I'll lay the 4 points.
Taking Eastern Michigan.
All right. Buffalo is at Bowling Green. This is a pick. Vegas thinks this is 2 dead even teams. Buffalo and Bowling Green both playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
A pick game. I'll go first again. I'll give you an opportunity to catch up here. I'll go with Buffalo on the road. I think they beat Bowling Green.
Mm-hmm. Bowling Green. I'm gonna go with Bowling Green.
All right. You're either catching up here or I'm expanding. Akron is at Ohio. The Bobcats entertaining the Zips. Akron is an 11-point underdog at Ohio.
Yeah, I'm going Ohio.
Yeah, I am too. Akron sucks. I mean, no offense to the people at Akron. All right, your guys, Central Michigan, at home against Ball State. The Central Michigan is an 8-point favorite, so you got to lay 8 to take your guys against Ball State. What are they? The Cardinals?
I say Cardinals.
Yeah. What is Central Michigan? The Chippewas?
Chippewas. The only one. All right, yeah. I'm gonna go my boys.
All right, Troy's gonna take his guys. I'll take Ball State in the points just because Central Michigan hasn't been blowing people out.
Yeah, they have.
Toledo goes to Northern Illinois. Toledo, a 5-point favorite on the road in DeKalb against the Northern Illinois team that's been pretty inconsistent.
I'm gonna go with Toledo.
Yeah, I am too. I'm going there. All right, and last one, and I'll go first here on this one. Kent State is on the road at Miami of Ohio. Kent State, a 5-point favorite on the road against the Redhawks. And I'm going to go with Kent State. I've watched Miami play a couple of times, and they're just kind of there. They're fine, but that's about as far as I go.
They offense. We'll go Kent State.
All right, so we got some alike and a few different. We got 3 differences, so we'll see how that shakes out next week on the Troy Brown Show. Again, we are brought to you each and every week by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great products, same people, same services. Starting to get a little cool out at night and stuff. It's a reminder that you need to get your heating system ready to go. You want to make sure that it's in tip-top shape when the colder weather comes and you need to go to your heater. You want to know that it's safe and that it's ready to run. So get in touch with the people at Comer, 662-801-1777. And if you live in the Memphis area, DeSoto County, Hernando, whatever, get in touch with the people at Southern, 662-429-4429. We'll be back next week. We'll review Ole Miss and Vanderbilt and get ready for Ole Miss's next SEC home game. Auburn coming to town October the 15th. That's an 11 a.m. kick. The Tigers and the Rebels on ESPN. So we'll talk about that game next week as well with Ole Miss linebacker Troy Brown. Troy, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week again. Have a great week. If you're traveling to Nashville, travel safely, and we'll talk to you soon.